Hey folks, my name's Rene Enriquez, and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Boots. Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name's Rene Enriquez, and you are watching Uncensored. Well, we sure hoped you liked that last episode. That was the first part of the interview with old Stutter Butter. Old Stutter Butter. Yeah, Chino was stuttering up a storm there. I think he was nervous. You know, he's an older guy, and he just got out and doing a life sentence. In fact, he was discharged from the California Department of Corrections on that sentence. I mean, I read you the transcripts, but he was actually discharged on 128, 2014. And then on May 9th, after coming back from Arizona to hang out with a good friend of his, Jerry. It was Jerry. I believe it was Jerry. Let me find his last name right now. Jerry Tapia. He went to hang out with him, and I guess Jessica Ayala. He spent the night at their house. They kick in the doors, and what do they find? A large quantity of meth and ballistic body armor. And just for those who have some question as to what the law is, it is illegal for a felon in both federal law, the federal statute 18 USC 931 prohibits anyone convicted of a violent violent felony classifies a crime of violence from owning or possessing body armor. And in the state law is, let's see, California Penal Code 31360 prohibits anybody convicted of a violent felony to possess body armor. And they hung that on Chino immediately. You heard that immediately in the interview where the cops telling him, well, there's body armor like 5 feet from you with a large quantity of meth in there. And Chino starts stuttering. You know, just because they're cardenales doesn't mean they're intelligent. No, I'm not saying Robert was ignorant or lacked intelligence, but he certainly wasn't an intellectual giant, right? I think all of your observations were spot on. That Chino should have invoked his Fifth Amendment right. He had been around long enough. In fact, he's dry snitching. I'll do that. He's naming names and acknowledging members, and and then they confront him with the writing of the letter. They confront him with the writing of the letter, and he calls himself a cardan. He acknowledges being a Mexican Mafia member in that letter, and he's writing it to Sana from Orange County about this individual in Orange County who obviously owes some money, and Chino thinks it's a misinterpretation. He thinks his weight or his palabra is going to get him out of it. And he acknowledges sending it into the county jail. He's acknowledging the participation in a conspiracy for the Mexican Mafia. Right there, right there. That's it. And I think that's 182 of the California Penal Code. And then they hit him with 186.22 as well in the arrest report. In fact, I'm going to put up this arrest report right now so you can see the charges. You're going to hear the second part of that interview now, and he's going to dig a deeper and deeper hole for himself. This is the same Chino Peanut Butter that are Chino Stutter Butter, the same Chino Stutter Butter who was in Mexico running stuff. You know, and a lot of people don't know this about the Cardenas, right? That, you know, everybody's got skeletons. One of the commenters put in there, everybody's got skeletons. There's no one dude that's squeaky clean, right? They've all committed some error somewhere that nobody knows about. But it comes to light. In Spanish, they say todo sale a flote. Like everything comes out, right? Everything comes out in the wash, right? And I think one of the viewers once wrote, if it doesn't come out in the wash, it comes out in the rinse. And that's the truth. Everything comes out. But this came out on Chino. This unfortunate interview that he participated in. He's being housed at the West Valley Detention Center, and that the FBI is visiting him and is talking to him about members, about his membership. He denies membership, but he doesn't deny anybody else's. You know, that's cracked me up. I listened to it; it's cracked me up. Like, what the hell? You know, you don't incriminate anybody in those kind of statements. I know I didn't. Not when I was an active mobster. When I debriefed, I did, but not until then. But yeah, it is fascinating to listen to these, you know, off the cuff interviews where people think that they'll never be heard again, but this becomes discoverable evidence. It really does. So you can imagine that the FBI is getting ready to indict Chino. They're going to hang him up on state and federal charges, and he knows that right there. That's his mind clicking. Like, I just got out of a life sentence. I'm going to get another life sentence. Oh, hell no. He wants nothing to do with that. So let's listen to the next segment of this interview. Hope you guys like it. Let me know what your thoughts are. You're killing it in the comments. I mean, I'm being well entertained, and I'm responding to as many as I can. So keep them coming. As always, let me remind you guys to watch the video, listen to the video in its entirety. That's the best thing you can do for the channel. If you can't support it by becoming a member or buying a cup of coffee, listen to the video in its entirety. That's important. It bumps up our watch hours, and we gotta make resources in order to put out this kind of content, you guys. We really do, because this stuff is number one. It's a daunting task to get out extensive videos every day, and to have an editor go over it, right? To put together the graphics, put it all together, make it become a cohesive story, right? Otherwise, it's just little old me sitting here talking into a mic. And we don't want that. No, we don't want that. That's too boring. We want to give you some visuals as well. In any event, enjoy this next segment of the interview. There's multiple segments to this interview, and we're going to bring them all to you. And then we're going to get into some other stuff, because we got a whole boatload of humdingers for you. And somebody asked, what is a humdinger? It's like, you know, it's like something really good. It's humdinger, you know? It's badass. That's what it is. Humdinger is badass. So get ready for this humdinger, folks. With that said, let's hear the rest of the interview.
About my medication.
Yeah, we'll talk to the nurse as soon as. Yeah, we'll talk to him a little bit.
7:55. Oh, crap. All right, Robert. So you know why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, look, you're here for what happened this morning at that house. And like I told you, you asked for the truth, I told you the truth.
Okay.
That I was just visiting there.
Well, you didn't quite tell the whole truth, because remember, we kind of established that, because in a letter, you weren't being totally forthcoming with the whole thing.
No, well, that's it. Like I said, these guys were verified, because like I told you, I was there with some other people that gang related. I heard a lot of gossip, and I said, well, let me write something and find out. You know, what's up with this guy? You know, I'm that happy. These guys, they know I wrote all them letters and all that.
Who knew that?
These guys.
Bassett and them?
Yeah. These guys they're like SSU at the Bay. They read all incoming, outgoing mail. They work classification.
Right.
And because I come up in Pelican Bay, I was in at SEG. That's where they keep all federal and state prisoners.
Okay.
And they come and see us every day, you know. All our incoming mail, outgoing mail, all, you know. So when I send that letter to Sana, they seen it.
Did you know the guy who was talking to you? I think the one law enforcement officer, you said that he said something about kind of came at you a little wrong.
That who?
The FBI guy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I seen him with a shirt on.
Okay. That's Agent Telemontes. All right. He actually told you before we left, if you had anything you wanted to maybe talk to him about or say, give him a shout, give him a call.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of give you that opportunity right now.
Yeah.
All right.
No, see, I told you, you guys asked me for the truth. I told you the truth. And I'm glad these guys officers look at that. But I told you that I was here in September, and I was in that SEG with some other so-called gang members. They read all our outgoing mail coming out, and they know I wrote that letter to Sana, inquiring about somebody. So it's not no gang activity, just gossip I heard about somebody, you know, I say, well, let's see if it's the truth or not.
Well, you're talking about prison politics in the letter, right?
Okay.
So Robert, in all of your experience in Pelican Bay, who generally talks about prison politics in letters?
Everybody.
What everybody?
You see,
Everybody in prison talks about prison politics.
no, watch.
Okay, break it down.
Watch. Like I tell you, I know blacks, they became BTF, whites, they became AB, Northern Mexicans, they become Northern Mexican. To me, they're just friends of mine that we will all be in the same section. We know each other for so many years. I was like, what happened to so-and-so? Why he went bad and blah, blah. We would talk about him. That letter you read, that's all we were doing, gossiping about somebody we heard. I said, why is that so-and-so? I don't know. So I wrote somebody in Orange County to find out if that was somebody I know. Like I told you, I know 3 people named Happy. And I was just inquiring, but you call it possible, but I was inquiring about if there's somebody I know.
I'm sorry, one second. It's on my dispatch right there. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute,
You ask
Robert.
for the truth, and these guys are very fast, you know.
1 second, Robert. Hi, Elma's David, 31. Can you show me 97 at West Valley Detention Center?
Sure.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Go ahead, Robert. So prison politics. You're talking and dealing with prison politics, right?
What they're calling politics right now is some gossip I heard about somebody named Happy, and I was trying to find out if it was the Happy that I know.
Okay.
And the only way to find out if that's the Happy that I know, I had to write somebody in Orange County. But hey, well, this is the Happy that I know. That I heard this, you know, what you did in there. Well, he got the green light on him, and he owes so much money. That's what I heard on the gossip. So I'm writing the honest truth. I'm asking somebody, hey, I heard this gossip about him. Have you heard the same thing?
Are you your brother, Robert?
What?
Are you your brother?
No, I'm not. They got me affiliated and associated. Like I told you, all these years I know everybody. They became
Robert, generally when we ask questions, it's probably because we have some information or know a little bit more than you know, than what we may be leading on to. So you're going to tell me you're not a brother?
I'm not a brother.
What do you think about that, sir?
Hey, Robert, let me ask you something. Do you remember me? Do you remember Detective Brandon?
I think you guys went through with Martinez on one of those groups. They would come every week.
Do you remember that? See, you have a pretty good memory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
Okay. Check this out, Robert. How old are you?
71.
You're 71.
Yeah.
When I spoke to you earlier, you told me you got jumped in the neighborhood when you were about 14. We did the math, and that comes out to about 55 years.
Yeah.
55 plus years from your neighborhood over there in the Monteville projects and stuff. I looked at your arm. You got a tattoo on your arm.
Yeah.
You also got a butterfly on your right inner arm, okay? I know what the butterfly represents. I know it represents mariposa.
What? No.
Hold on.
No.
But for you to sit there and tell this officer here that you're not a carnal or you're not a brother, come on, Robert. I mean...
Hey, look. Now, man to man here, we're not being cop to inmate, arrest.
No, and listen, I haven't disrespected you,
What? That nickel and dime psychology, fuck that. We're talking man to man here. Let's be honest. Well, I am being honest. And I told this guy on the way up here, he said, hey, I told him, these deputies will verify it. What I told him is the truth. Ask him. And everything I told you is the truth. Now you treat me like a little kid about, hey, come on, old man. I said, hey, come on, no?
Who says old man?
You. Oh, I just checked your record. You've been in a neighborhood gang since 1959, over 55 years. What's wrong with you, old man? Come on now.
Robert, what would Bassett tell me about you?
What?
What would Bassett tell me about you?
What I told you that I was here was 4 known gang members, supposed to be gang members.
Okay.
Like they got me labeled as a gang member,
Right.
and they read that letter I wrote to Sana, inquiring the letter you guys had, inquiring about this person. Because I told you I know 3 different people. I'll repeat it again. 3 different people I know with the name Happy. And I was inquiring, asking somebody in Orange County, is this so-and-so the one I know?
Would Bassett tell me that you were a con artist?
Hey, baby, well, like I told you, on paper, they got me as everything.
Okay, so
You know?
So,
Well, okay,
so,
I'll
so
tell
you're
you,
saying it's not?
what the prison committees tell me. So many people have said you're this, you got to be this.
Okay, and you saying that's not true though?
Well, you ask for the truth, I'm the truth. I'm not a brother.
You refer to yourself as a carnal in that letter.
Huh?
In the letter,
Oh,
you
okay,
refer to
watch,
yourself as a
watch,
carnal.
watch, okay, watch. Okay, you was a black, you remember during the 1670s, there was a black woman, and then during the 1670s, I used to be, I was involved in the Chicano movement power. I was politically involved with a group on the street. We were representing the Mexicans. That's when we were all together. That's when the late 60s, early 70s, everybody was going for civil rights, Mexican, black, and whites. So now I was involved in the community worker at Casa Maravilla. Well, I used to be my neighbor. They have a community program there that I used to work there as a counselor. So I was politically involved in the Chicano movement, trying to get civil rights for the Mexicans.
So can you tell me one thing?
What's that?
What's the butterfly on your arm
Well,
represent?
and you see okay, on this side I got roses,
Yes, sir.
and I got the butterfly over here. If you look at them, I tell you, I'm an ex-drug addict. And if you look at them, they're over my main vein.
But what does the butterfly represent, Mr. Ruiz?
Okay, you know, a drug addict, you shoot heroin in the same spot for so long, your skin turns black.
I know that.
Yeah, that's why I put the butterfly there to cover up that black mark I had on my vein. On this side, the roses cover up.
How come you couldn't put a pig or put a bear or put
Mexicans don't put
Scooby-Doo or
pigs.
something?
No, Mexicans don't put pigs. Come on now. You know what a pig's a cop. You know
I think
that.
what he's trying to say is you could have picked anything else other than the butterfly.
At the time I got that, you know what? Okay, back in the 60s and 70s, I don't know if you remember the flower people. They had a butterfly where there was a man and woman, their bodies pressed against each other and had butterfly wings. If you look at that, it's the body of a woman, not a butterfly. But there was a poster of that, a man and a woman touching chests. And behind them was the wings of a butterfly. That's what that is. If you look at it carefully. But you see it's over my main artery, my main vein, where I had a black mark. To cover up the black mark that I was a drug addict.
Let me ask you this. Are you telling me that the butterfly on your arm doesn't represent mariposa and the M stands for mafia?
No. What M on me?
M-A?
Well, what M do I got on me?
Are you understanding what I just said? The butterfly that you have on your arm
Yeah.
is Spanish for mariposa. Am I correct?
Okay, watch.
Hold on, Robert.
No,
Answer my
no.
question because you're beating around the bush.
No.
Does the butterfly mean mariposa in Spanish?
No.
What does it mean in Spanish?
No.
How do you say butterfly in Spanish?
Mariposa.
Okay, that's my question to you.
Yeah.
Okay, what does mariposa? What does that start with? The
M,
letter what?
M.
Okay. Does the letter M represent mafia?
No.
Is that why
No, it
you
doesn't.
have the
No,
butterfly
it
in your
doesn't.
arm, Robert?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't. See, in other words, you want to study Mexican, okay, the 13 stands for loco, really. The 13 letter of the alphabet, which is M for marijuana. I'm a grasshopper. I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a grasshopper. I smoke weed all my life. Now, every time I talk to myself, you know what? My only problem, I'm a grasshopper. I smoke weed. I don't drink beer. I don't do hard drugs except once in a while. But I'm a grasshopper. I smoke weed. The 13 letter of the alphabet, yes, it is an M.
Let me ask you this. Is it fair to say that all brothers today that are being made would put a black hand on their body?
I don't know.
However, back in the 70s, the 60s, the 50s,
Yeah.
all the carnals and the brothers were putting the mariposa on their body somewhere.
No,
Is that fair
no,
to say?
No. You can tell me also called Mexican brothers from the Mexican Mafia have a butterfly now. You will not find a butterfly. No.
Not today.
No.
You'll find a black hand, correct?
Maybe. So, I've seen a black hand on some people's tattoo, but now you're talking about everybody puts the same tattoo to identify you from a certain group. Now you're saying all brothers got a butterfly. No, they don't.
So you know a lot about the Mexican Mafia, right?
Like I told you on the car way over here, I got my number in November of 1963, before before BGF, before Northern Mexicans, before AB. I know white, blacks, and all that. And I told you, they become what they
Is that a
become
yes,
afterwards.
Robert?
Huh?
Is that a yes
What?
to the question?
Ask it again.
So you know a lot about the Mexican Mafia, right?
I know about that. I just answered your question. I said I know a lot of blacks that become BGF, gang members, AB to become gang members,
Okay.
Northerners become Northern, and a lot of Mexicans that became what you call Mafia. Yeah, I know people
Okay.
from all them groups. Yes, I do know.
Okay. So that answer is yes.
Yeah. I
Okay.
know them because they were friends of mine. Like I told you,
So is it common for them to refer to themselves as Carnal in letters or?
oh, okay. It goes back to what I said, I was talking earlier. During the late 16th, 17th, you had the black movement. They stopped that word blood. And because they stopped that. Because they would say, okay, well, you black people now, you like to be called African Americans. See, like that long time ago, during the Chicano movement I was involved with, trying to get civil rights for the Mexicans, we would call each other, hey, brown brother, carnal. Because we were brown people representing the brown people on the political issues as far as getting civil
And
rights.
as the Mexican Mafia basically increased and their foothold was established, Carnal just became a regular, common greeting, correct?
You find a lot of community workers in East LA. They're involved in the Chicano movement, Chicano civil rights. They call each other carnal. Hey, brown brother. And they have a handshake. Every group has a handshake.
You got to be tired of all this, right, Robert?
You're being redundant and you're repeating yourself again and again and again. Same question. Yes, I am.
Robert, you ready to go back to prison for probably the rest of your life? And you might die in
Like I
prison?
told
Is that
him.
what you want to do?
No,
I don't think that's what you want.
why did I just tell you in the car? You know, my bloodline, the men in my bloodline and my family, they don't live past
Let me ask
82.
you this. You've been out, what, 4 weeks?
No.
3 weeks?
Yeah, I got out
3 weeks?
January 28th.
Okay, so you
Almost 4 months.
Couple
3
months.
months.
Yeah.
How do you like it out on the streets?
Beautiful
Were you
out here.
enjoying it?
Beautiful, yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you're not taking direct orders, not having to jump when someone tells you to jump.
No, what?
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Robert?
what? To answer your question, let me speak. I told him that's the reason I didn't parole. I didn't get out, no parole, and everything, and go to LA or California. I went to Arizona to get away from
How
all
did you
that.
like Arizona?
Huh? I like it. It's
huh?
beautiful.
Warm
Yeah,
weather?
I have a friend of mine that I've been on for
Yeah.
35 years.
Yeah.
He offered me a job and a place to stay so I saved money and got my
Yeah.
own apartment.
Did you get a lot of menudo, pozole?
No, I live with white people.
Okay. So you ate a lot of American food then,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You don't get that. You don't get good food like that. in
I know
Canada,
that.
man.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you ready to throw all that away and go right back to eating,
Watch.
squares?
Watch. You let me speak, I'll answer your question now.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Robert.
You're categorizing me. Let's don't do that. Like I said, let's go talking man to man, you know?
I understand that,
talk
Robert. I haven't disrespected you.
No, yes, you have.
No. How have I disrespected
you? keep
you?
saying, hey, aren't you tired of this shit? You're talking about gangs. Aren't you tired of prison? Well, the time I spent in prison. Like I told him, now you see what I'm talking about. I'm a monster on paper. And you read my file, you say, whoa, that fucking dude, man. Damn, you know, all this life been involved. This or that or that. Like I said, on paper, I'm a monster. They got me being this, being that, being this. If you look at when I went to court on that 3 strike, I had 50 years of my prison file, and we argued. The judge said, hey, I told the DA, I don't want to hear all that. If you got facts, bring them. Because the DA was contesting my release because he felt I was a danger to the public and society. He wanted to know why I've spent 28 years in Pelican Bay in the hole. I told him we hired that Danny Basket, the ex-warden of San Quentin. He's an expert gang witness now. And he testified that, this guy, it's all, he's this, he's that, but there's no facts. When they got today, someone could, I can say, hey, this guy right here, this black guy right here, he's BGF.
Yeah, but we just read a letter where you refer to yourself as a carnal.
I just explained what happened. During the Chicano movement, all brown people call each other a carnal. Okay, well, look at the NLRs, the KKK, the AB, they pretend a white brother.
Yeah, but Robert, you know what we're talking about.
Well, I just explained. When I call another brown person, hey, Cornell, hey, brown brother, that's to show them what era I was from during the Chicano Civil Rights Movement.
Robert, this is what I see, and
Yeah, you think
listen
I'm
to me.
bullshitting.
No, listen to me. I have a degree in psychology. I don't know if I ever told you that, right?
I have too.
Okay, but looking at your body language, I could tell you're tired, bro. You are pooped out.
Yeah.
You're ready to throw the towel in and call it a
No.
day.
But to be an informant, please, we all have our dignity and pride as being a man.
Wait a minute, hold that thought. Did I ever ask you to be an informant? That's not where I'm going, Robert.
Hey,
Robert, where I'm going.
What? One of your colleagues a little while ago
You know
during
what?
the interview today, if you want to talk to me, we'll talk about, okay, do you want to debrief? Do you have something to say about this group or that group? What do you know?
Robert, how you feeling?
Huh?
How do you feel?
Right now,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my blood pressure is going up. Because
Relax.
he's been
Relax.
redundant, he's been, no.
Relax. Okay, let's go. You thirsty?
Huh?
You thirsty?
I'm cotton mouth and I'm behind my
Oh, I'll
medication.
get you something to drink.
Huh?
And I'm getting you something to drink. I'm getting you something to drink.
Yeah, because right now, what, in a little while I'll get, my tongue is sticking to my second. I take water pills because I'm retaining too much liquid in my body. And this is what happens. I get cotton mouth, I get tongue-tied.
Yeah, I know. But,
No.
Robert,
But you guys been on, you keep repeating the same name over
Robert,
and over and
okay,
over.
Robert, we talked, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I've been in this business 30 years.
yeah.
Okay. Every informant that's come out of the Ricos,
Yeah.
I've worked.
Yeah.
Rene works with me. Chuco's worked with me. Mundo's worked with me. And this lady, one that, the bird, the old man in jail,
Yeah.
the bird, he works with me.
Well, you know what?
Well, Robert, okay, just a minute.
Yeah.
I wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I pretty much know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My time's expensive.
Good guy, bad guy.
Because there's only one of me. My time's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time I show up at your doorstep
Mm-hmm.
is when you've done something really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no disrespect. I already know what's going on. Okay. I know about you. The brothers tell me. I've seen what you do. So, to deny it, that's fine. I don't. That's what you got to do. And that's part of your defense.
Yeah.
But we know the truth. Now, like I say, we're talking man to man. We know the truth.
Yeah,
No
right.
disrespect.
Yeah.
We talked. We talked.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the people that you know. And the people have told me a lot about you.
Mm-hmm.
And all we're asking is, you're in a pretty serious situation. Okay? Do you, would it be
Okay, wait.
would it be too far-fetched to say that you don't want to die in prison? Would that
No,
be?
that's true. I told him that.
No, exactly.
I told him that's why I didn't go nowhere, LA or California. That's why I got out of California.
The thing is, what you're looking at, that's a pretty great possibility. It's a pretty great possibility. And what you think is terrific and what you think is great, here, got you some.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. You guys got a cookie?
Yeah.
Hey, Ruiz, you hungry?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll take care of you.
You wanna?
Your shoulder hurt?
Yeah, I had my shoulder out of socket one time. And what they did, like the movie, they pulled it back in place and it's never been right since.
I had the same issue. I wrestled all through
Yeah,
college.
when I was younger, I got stomach distracted. Young, and back in my 20s, and during the struggle, I got my arm pulled out of the socket. And when they did the helmet on the ground, put the foot on me and yanked it back in the socket. And,
Painful, man.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh, man.
Is that better?
Yeah, well, my arms are numb.
Well,
You move around a little bit.
Huh?
Once you get off, once you let go, move your shoulders around a little
I
bit.
know. I got short arms. That's why I'm saying double cup.
Yeah.
That short
you're not
arms.
going to go crazy on the eyebrow? Huh? You're not gonna go crazy on me? You're not gonna go local?
No, I understand where you're coming
Hey,
from.
drink some water.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. See your sweat.
Yeah, see, short round, that's what it does right away. That's the circulation and make my blood pressure. That's why I told you about double cup. That happens all the time. And when that happens, because of circulation, my blood pressure goes.
I see. Get you some water.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a couple sips.
But anyway, like, go ahead, drink some water.
Finish
Like I was
what you're
saying,
saying,
because I don't think you want to spend the rest of your life in jail. And honestly, right now, you are in a position to help yourself.
No, see, watch.
And I understand.
No, the truth, honestly.
I understand what you think is, I mean, because you all your whole life.
Yeah.
That's been your whole life. And from what you
I have spent my whole life in prison,
It's honorable, and you think it's honorable, and the people you hang around with are honorable, and you think that's all that. But
No.
what the reality of it, the reality of the whole situation is, they helped put you here, right? They helped put you here.
I realize that.
Rene's in the light.
I
Chuco's
can't.
in the light.
No,
Mundo's in the light.
what the
Perico's in the light.
all those guys are informers. Come on now.
Well, they saw the
Hey,
light. They saw the light.
See what you're talking about. What he just said, he hit the nail in the head. That's what it's leading to.
Robert,
Are you willing to cooperate?
Let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
and that's the bottom line.
I know that.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
See, I asked them now, am I being charged as a state person, as a state person in custody or federal? Because really, I'm visiting someone and there was something found 15 feet away from me, and you're saying, that's yours. And I'm in someone's house that I don't know what's in that house. And how you go, and the court of law will say, hey, that was found near he was sleeping 15 feet away, that's his. You're insinuating, you're implying, but I know that's the way it looks. But there is state law, and wherever you're arrested at, anything within 6 feet is yours. There's California law on that. If it's found anywhere beyond 6 feet, it's not yours. There's law on that. That's why I asked you, am I being charged with that? You said, yes. And how far was that from the couch where I was sleeping? Way beyond 6 feet. In the court of law, that would be argued. Because that's what I'm being charged with. There was a vest found somewhere where you were staying, that's yours. Because it was so close to you, you have to know about it. That's facts, and that's the law.
Okay, but there's another situation, Robert, is that...
Well, look at...
right now...
To avoid all this conversation, I'm not going to cooperate, I'm not going to turn the corner. I'm not.
Okay, I understand, but let me speak. I totally understand, and I respect that. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I've dealt with all these guys. I've dealt with them 30 years. I understand. But... look at it this way. Right now, go ahead.
Yeah.
Relax.
No, I don't want to think. I'm making a sudden move. Hey, making the move. No, come on now.
You gave me your word, right? You gave me your word?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to go local?
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, like I say, right now, you're in a pretty good position to help yourself. Once you're sentenced?
If I'm sentenced.
Okay, well, once you're sentenced,
Yeah.
and the DA gets his teeth into you, it's a different story.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're a smart man.
You see what?
You're a very smart man. And if your loyalty is somewhere else, that's fine. I understand that. I respect that.
Being honest, in the court of law, I finally ran into a judge that believed me. The DA brought up all my file, all my prison badges to show what kind of character was. They told me, you know what? I don't want to hear the past. That this man is grown. And when he was young, yes, I was, against authority. I was a knucklehead. I was a hard head. Yeah, I was young and foolish. But they told the DA, I don't want to read 50 years ago or 40 years ago. I want to know from 1999 to right now, because he got convicted of this new charge as it being clean. Yeah, I got 15 years clean. I got over 20 years without no write-up, making no rules. I've been in shoot for no write-up, just for hanging around with a bad group of people that are labeled this. I've been locked up for 28 years and ain't broke no rule. And I showed the judge that, look at Your Honor, I've been in the hole for 28 years, I ain't break no rules. They said because I hung around with these guys, some of these guys were homeboys, grew up where I grew up, but they became gang members. Because hanging around with them, knowing them all my life, I got labeled as a gang member, or associate, or affiliated. Okay, you read my file, they got me affiliated, associated, gang member. And I had counselors like you guys over here. Hey, well, and so many people said you're this, you have to be this, there has to be some truth to it. I tell them, yeah. The way you look, like I said, you look at my file, you say, like I told you, I'm a monster, I you read it. Damn, I didn't know that about him, you know? You believe in him until you speak to me. And that's why you say the truth. There's someone here now telling you the truth. And I want to talk to you man to man, because if I talk to you authority to so-called inmate because I'm in custody, I'm an inmate. You're talking down to me. That's like best that I told him, no, because you are, I want to talk to you man to man, you know. Deputy to inmate, no, because we can't communicate. Because you're going to use your position, what you are, is to, if you can break an inmate down physically or mentally, then he turns informer, let's be the truth, a rat. Okay, better for you than not for you. Like, see, you study psychology. See, I told the board members who went on to the parole board to get parole one time, I told them, you know, you're a psychologist or sociologist, you got a degree in it. You went to college, you got a degree, but you read a human being's mental breakdown. You have to imagine what you read. I said, here I got live examples on the yard from people from all walks of life, of all colors. For some reason, they did a crime for whatever reason they did, you know. So I got live examples. I don't have to read a book and imagine somebody having a mental breakdown. I talk to live people, like I speak to you people.
Yeah, but my point was straightforward, though, Robert.
Yeah.
How did you like it the last 4 months out there on the streets?
It was beautiful.
How did you enjoy not having to wake up at a certain time and go to bed at a certain time and live in a little 4x4 cell?
That's why when you ask me,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't you like freedom? I tell them, hey, that's why I got the hell out of California. Why am I going to go back to the same environment, same thing?
Robert, you're going back.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Robert, think about it this way too. You're focused on one little piece. Okay, you're focused on, oh, look at the vest that was 6 feet away.
That's what I'm being charged with.
But you know what? You know what we work, right?
Pardon?
Do you know what I work?
No. You are what you are? Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I work RICO.
Yeah.
Okay. The first bunch of guys in 1985.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put away.
I seen you come through on the tour with Sergeant Martinez. I remember you, yeah.
I put away.
Yeah. You know who remembers you?
So what I'm telling you?
You know who remembers you? You followed him on the street, cricket, that guy Jackson.
Yeah. Larry.
I remember when he came through on the tour, he seen you and he said, this guy followed me on the street. He remembers you.
Larry.
Yeah. I remember I asked you, hey, you're kind of old to be what you are. You said, yeah, I've been an agent for a lot of years.
Well, like what I'm trying to tell you, Robert.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're a little nervous, but you got to relax. Is that you're focusing on one little thing.
Yeah.
You know what I do, correct?
Yeah.
You're worried about one little thing. How do you know
There's more to
that we were here by chance?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You have a reason to be there. You know, you do what you do because you have a reason.
What do we? All of a sudden, you know, you just show up at this apartment, and I said, "Damn, we're there."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a little tiny vest. What if there's like?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Till I go to court and then I find out what.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is that right now you're in a position to help yourself.
I don't know what I'm being charged with. Once I know what I'm being charged with, like you're mentioning, might be a RICO act behind what we did.
Could be.
You know, could be.
Possibly.
Who knows? Till I go to court, I'm charged. Yeah. Then I'll have a better idea. That's why I've been asking all of you.
And all the time,
what am I being arrested for?
And all the time that I've known pro-pers,
yeah,
I've never seen one win. Not one.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. Lawler tried it. Of course, Lawler's dead. But Jose's trying it. I've never seen one guy win.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of guys.
No,
I'm not taking away from their education because it's real good.
What you're saying?
Really, really, really good. I
Excuse me.
respect that. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they say in court? The attorney who defends himself has a fool for a client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they lose all the time. And I know when the judge brings you up there and tries to be pro-per, he tries to convince you, no, you need an attorney to do this. Because you're heading down a one-way street.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point. And you're an old man. I know you got a family. I know you got children. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you'd rather be out there during Christmas and Thanksgiving,
right.
Mother's Day. I know you want to be out there with Mother's Day, but right?
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you not to shoot yourself in the foot,
Yeah.
Robert.
Yeah. So far, I haven't shot
I haven't yelled at you, I haven't disrespected
No.
you, right? Okay, I'm being straight with you.
Please, that's nickel and dime psychology. Come on
Yeah.
now.
No,
Bad cop, good cop. Come on, that's old as covered wagons,
And
you know.
that's on you, Robert. You know, that's on you. But,
You know?
and like when after you're sentenced.
You ever heard that old
After you're
saying?
sentenced, I'm
You
gonna
can't
come back.
bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now, come on.
And after
Now.
you're sentenced and they come back, I'll say hi. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
I will too.
it's all good.
If I see you on the street, I know who you are. I don't forget faces. Hey, I know you must be on duty or you're off duty. Okay, you're close by. Oh, you mean you're on me for some reason, or it's a coincidence? You know.
Well, that's my job.
Yeah, well, I know. That's what I'm saying. But if I run into you on the street, I don't know if you're on duty, you're following me, or what. It could be a coincidence. We just happen to meet. I'm gonna say, hey, this guy's a cop. Oh, hey, how you doing? I'll be on my way. If you're doing what you're doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. And I could be shopping with my girlfriend or whatever. You could be with your wife going somewhere. But just because you're a cop, I mean, hey, this guy's following me. Okay, I'll get out here. No, why? You could be off duty, or you might be on duty. Who knows?
You know?
Yeah, well, to go back what you said, over all these years I've done in prison, over 50 years, that's one question I can't answer. And why does a man break down mentally? I told people out there, you know what? I don't know. I see bad motherfuckers break down for various reasons. Why? I don't know. To say that they broke down because of this, or this, I don't know. Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're eating better than us today.
I hope so. These guys ain't gonna give me nothing, you know. I know them still here. I know them still here and all that. Best Freddy and all them guys.
A couple of them left.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I eat some of this?
Yeah.
Okay. Like you said, the honest truth, these guys are honest, straight up.
Good.
See, and I always told, like you say, you want the truth? I'm telling you the truth, you know. But you got to think, oh, come on, old man, fuck, hey, you know, we know the game. I know the game. These guys believe in me, and the months that I was here with them, they say, hey, I'm straight up.
That's good.
I'll tell you, yeah, I'm straight up. I'll tell you, hey, like I said, let's talk man to man. You know,
Right.
What's the facts? Like you're talking there, you know. Hinting there might be a RICO act behind this. That's why I'm telling you what all the charge for.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Because breaking the law got me in prison, knowing the law would get me out. And over the last 30, 40 years I've been in prison, I just didn't lay around on my ass and talk bullshit. I studied the law. That's what got me out.
Well, it's kind of like my partner just said also, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't just fall out the sky this morning for no reason.
Right. You know, like
You know what I mean?
Like, you know what, that's the truth.
Wait a minute. Listen for a while. I'll listen for a while. So let me just talk for 1 second.
Yeah.
You see, eat while we talk. Sip on some water. You know, let's get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen. Did you take a look at the different agencies that happen to be there today?
No, what's that? What do you mean?
Law enforcement agencies. Did you happen to take a look at that today? Did you notice that it wasn't what city were you in this morning?
Pomona? I think it was Pomona.
Nah, it wasn't Pomona.
The L.A. County?
Chino.
Yeah. I mean, is that
San Bernardino County.
is that L.A. County?
San Bernardino County.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you notice the different law enforcement agencies? You had an FBI guy there,
Yeah,
right?
I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he hinted about right now.
So we didn't just fall out the sky,
Yeah.
right? And I understand that you're holding your cards close as you're looking to see if we're holding our cards close. But in this particular case, yeah, no. Eat, Robert.
I got to share it.
Enjoy, bro.
Hey, you guys can't get it.
In this particular case, Robert, we just want to try to give you that opportunity because,
Is that come out of the kitchen?
look, I'm not trying to insult you about your age or anything, but let's just face it, you spent a lot of time in prison.
Yes, I have.
And it would just be, I think,
Tragic.
yeah, good word.
Tragic.
It would be pretty tragic
Yeah.
for you to go ahead and to
Believe me.
see that as your last days.
Believe me, what I got. That's why I'm inquiring. Am I charged state, federal, or county? Because I know the consequences. Like I said, I don't want to die in prison. That's the truth. That's the honest truth.
What would that change for you?
What?
What will it change?
Like you said, like you said you moved out of California, stay away from all that bad influence. I did.
Which you're not doing, by the way.
No. Right. Like I said, I met Jerry and his family through my lawyer, which is part of his family. I met him at the lawyer's office. I think, what this guy's? I don't know him.
Who's your lawyer?
Huh?
Who's your lawyer?
Jerry's cousin or uncle, Gabriel Sendejas.
Is he from
From Ontario. He got his office here.
Is he from the Criminal Courts Building downtown LA?
He works. He's a state lawyer fighting state criminal cases. He's trying to get into federal law. He has to get it because right now he's handling some federal cases, but he's been invited by federal attorneys to sit there in court as a second seat. But you're allowed 2 lawyers for him to learn the experience of a federal court or what the procedure is. He knows all the state procedures, but he don't know the federal procedures. So he inquired with some federal attorneys. And state court, you have public defenders. You don't have that in a federal court system.
Okay.
They give you an appointed attorney. See, so he's inquired about a few federal attorneys. And he talked about Shirley McDonald. See, and she was a real good lawyer, and she knows she's handled state and federal cases. So through me, I introduced him to Shirley McDonald. I said, well, my lawyer is only 8 years out of law school. He's studying criminal law. He's getting into criminal law. So I told him, I said, Shirley McDonald, she's well experienced on gang cases, federal, state cases. I said, she can give you a shortcut and bring up a lot of law on federal court procedures and state court procedures.
And it was Gabriel Zendejas
that got me out.
He hooked you up with Jerry?
No, he was at his office visiting his family.
I thought you said he introduced you to Jerry.
If I walk into the, I'm here visiting you.
I'm just asking, I don't know.
No, I'll give you a situation. I walked in this room, this is a lawyer's office. You're the lawyer, these guys are your friends here. Tell me, hey, this is a friend of mine. I said, hey, good, yeah, I'm glad to meet you. Then he said, yeah, I know. He said, well, this guy's related to me, So I said, hey, this guy might be a good guy. His lawyer going to hang around with the criminal guys that are fucking up. But I don't know that. I can't judge somebody on just face value.
So you took that upon yourself just to hook up with this guy because he was his cousin?
Yeah. See, my lawyer belongs to the Sendeja family. His cousins are from Arizona, which they came to court. They were doing a job in Arizona. The Sendeja families, 3 of them were NFL field goal kickers.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the Sendejas. Yeah.
So is that why you moved to Arizona?
No.
What you said?
Wow. Watch. My lawyer's uncles are the field goal kickers.
Yeah.
He came to court and wrote a letter and told the judge, if this man's released to Arizona, I'll give him a job where I got my restaurants at. Because I had to show employment. If I got out.
So are you working for Zendejas Restaurants?
No, not them. I'm working for another friend of mine. It's the white guy. He has his own business. But I went to Arizona in case my partner couldn't give me a solid job. I could go talk to Max Sendeja, that he has his own businesses and restaurants over there. Tell me, hey, give me a job. Which I have a letter that spread it to the court. He would give me a job.
Because I think they only have like 1 or 2 restaurants in California,
No, they got sport bars.
In California?
Yeah. They got one in Covina, one in La Puente, one near San Francisco. They got 2 in Ontario. Then over there in Arizona, they got about 4 or 5 restaurants.
Which 2 in Ontario?
Huh?
Do you know which 2 in Ontario?
Right next to my lawyer's office.
Do you know what's the name of them?
A Sendejas restaurant. Yeah, a Sendejas.
Is it good food?
Huh? Yeah.
Authentic?
Good Mexican food. You can go there, you're invited,
Is it authentic?
Yeah. Back here, tell me, you want to eat good food? Like we talk about restaurants. Go there, I tell you, go to Sendejas. They serve good food. Even though you are what you are, you like to eat good, hey, go here. If I see you there, hey, good. You want a beer? Here.
So Zendejas got you off of this last one?
His lawyer, yeah. He did.
And he's learning federal.
Yeah, he wants to be
the system now.
He wants to be. You get paid more money as an attorney handling federal cases than you do state.
You better start learning real quick.
Well, I hope so.
Is he the one that's teaching you your law?
Huh?
Is he the one that's teaching you your law school?
No. I over the last 35 years in prison, the last 35 years studying, well, back then they didn't have computers like they have nowadays. Anything you want to find, you Google it or whatever. Back then, in the 1670s, you had to go to the law library and you had to read, do your homework. Ain't nobody going to read it to you. You have to go there and read it and try to understand it. That's how I learned the law, you know. The last 3 times I've been to prison, I handle my cases pro per. I represented myself. Like I said, this time I got 32 years knocked out by 50-year sentence. The time before that, they want to give me 30 years on my prior crimes. I got 20 years knocked off. I just got a 18-year sentence without no life top.
Come on, give me a second, guys.
You know,
Give me a minute.
you hungry?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I just need to make a phone call. I think my signal's bad in here, though.
Yeah, sure. I'll have a copy of that.
Outro. There you have it, folks. Chino's digging a hole deeper and deeper for himself, and he doesn't even realize it. He's incriminated himself left and right. He's getting caught up. He's stuttering. He's nervous as all get out. And it's shocking. It's shocking to hear a carnal that became so well respected say so much in an interview. You'd think the simplest of persons, even a simpleton, would say, hey, man, I want a lawyer. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. And in fact, I do have an interview of a carnal that does just that. And I will run it, and I'll show you how it's done. I will show you. There's one of the carnal Dopey from Brown Nation or Brown Pride. I don't know, Brown something, Paramount. He does an interview. They talk to him for a minute. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, don't know what you're talking. He doesn't engage. He doesn't try to explain his way out of it. But I'm going to show you the contrast in the near future on Dopey's interview. I mean, he kept it gangster, and that's all. That's what you're supposed to do. So, as shocking as it may seem, Chino talked. He didn't overtly snitch on anybody, but he's talking, right? There's more to come. It's going to shock you, folks. It's going to shock you. All right, with that said, hope you appreciate this segment. More to follow. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. As always, hype. It's important to the video as well. All right, folks. Peace out. Stay safe.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Boots.